What up, senpais? It's Dre here with Yakuza Otaku, and today we are going to go over the summer 2022 anime lineup for this upcoming season. It kind of pretty much starts to kick off next month, so let's dive in and see what kind of shows that we can check out. So first off is Overlord Season 4. I've actually never watched Overlord before. I've kind of heard mixed reviews from people, so I haven't been like super big into it, but if that's something you're interested in, let me know. So we have The Devil is a Part-Timer Season 2. This is one that I've just barely watched a little bit of. Just in random synopsis of this one, you have Satan comes to Earth, and due to some circumstances, he ends up working at like a knockoff McDonald's. I know it sounds kind of funny, but I didn't really find a whole lot to hook my teeth into on this one. But if it's something that I'm missing out on, you guys should let me know in the comments below. Next up is Classroom of the Elite Season 2. This is another one that I haven't seen before. I guess it's about a school of nurturing that these kids go to, and the main protagonist is from the D class, which is the stinker class where all the rejects go, I guess. I don't really know a whole lot else about it, but if it is something that sounds interesting to you, it is drama and psychological, it says, so that could be something up someone's alley. We also have the DR.STONE special episode. I'm kind of excited for this one. This one takes place between the second and the third season, so I'm guessing that we're going to get our third season pretty soon, I'm hoping. I love DR.STONE. This was one that you guys actually told me I needed to check out because me and Bree had been sleeping on it, and we really loved it. It's a lot of fun. It's about this crazy future where everyone gets turned to stone, and one of the main characters uses the power of science to bring everybody back, while also simultaneously warring against those that don't necessarily want to see this new future change. We're getting Season 4 of Is It Wrong to Try to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon? This is one I know a few of you are really interested in because you have told me about it. I haven't gotten really far into the show yet, but let's see what Season 4 says here. So it says, it is here that a young boy who aspired to become an adventurer met a tiny goddess, made friends, challenged the dungeon, and narrowly escaped death on several occasions, all while leveling up his skills. That very same boy receives a letter. It contains a mission, an expedition into the dungeon deeper than he's ever gone before. Facing uncharted territory, the boy sets out alongside his friends on a brand new journey. This is the story of a boy as told by a goddess. Again, it's Isekai, and I'm kind of on the fence about most of them, to be honest with you. I'm not trying to be that negative guy, because I know that many of you love them, but it's really just not my thing. But maybe some of y'all are very excited for this one. It comes out on July 21st at 11 p.m. Japanese Standard Time. Rent-A-Girlfriend is getting a Season 2 as well. It says here, a hopeless college student, Kyuza Kinoshita, meets a graceful rental girlfriend, Mizuhara Chizuru, and ends up introducing her as his girlfriend to his family and friends. Time goes on with Kyuza unable to tell the truth as he's surrounded by devilish ex-girlfriend Nanami Mami, who keeps coming back to tempt him for some reason, hyper-aggressive provisional girlfriend Sarashina Ruka, who doesn't know how to take no for an answer, and a super shy but diligent and hardworking younger rental girlfriend, Sakurasawa Sumi, beautiful girlfriends of all types. The pub, the beach, hot springs, Christmas, and New Year's. Having gone through these challenging events, Kyuza's feelings for Chizuru keep growing stronger, but she reveals a shocking truth that threatens to shake their relationship to the very core. Haven't seen this one either, but I guess if this is your kind of a thing, it almost sounds harem-ish, but I could be totally wrong on that. My Isekai Life, an action-adventure fantasy anime that is coming out. It says, getting isekai to a magical world and developing incredible powers is every otaku's wildest dream. But for salaryman Yuji Sano, it's the stuff of absolute nightmare. He's in the middle of a mountain of work when he gets unwillingly pulled into a fantasy realm where he accomplishes the inevitable feat of developing a second character class by making the most of his monster tamer abilities. Now he's traded the office for adventuring to make a living, but he keeps getting roped into major events because his powers are unmatched, second to none, and yet he doesn't even realize it. I'm definitely gonna pass on that one. It just sounds like standard isekai to me. But again, I know that you guys love that kind of stuff, so if that's something you're interested in, and maybe some of these are ones that I'm sleeping on, maybe they're better than the average, so let me know. Next, we have something that I am actually pretty darn excited for. It is the second season of Maid in Abyss. I've been waiting for this for quite a while. This is a pretty interesting adventure, and I am excited to see where the rest of this goes. Last we left this off, they had gone pretty deep into the Abyss, and who knows what other things they could find down there. There obviously was a lot of craziness going to the point that they're at, and it's supposed to get a lot worse going even farther down. So I am really excited for this one. We're also getting a video game coming out too that kind of looks a little meh right now, but I really want to see it and I really want to play it. So you guys are probably likely to see the game also on our page soon as well. And last time we watched Maid in Abyss, we actually ended up doing a Discord group watching it as well. So if you guys want to see season 2 in Discord with us, then you are more than welcome to request that. Ah yes, I've been waiting for the overtly harem anime, Harem in the Labyrinth of Another World, an action-adventure, ecchi, fantasy, harem, romance anime. Struggling with life and society, high school student Michio Kaga wanders about the internet and lands on an odd website. The website, featuring a number of questions and a point-based system, allows one to create skills and abilities for a character. Upon completing his character, Kaga is transported to a game-like fantasy world and reborn as a strong man who can claim idol-level girls. Thus begins the cheat and harem legend of a reborn man. Yay. It's like we're getting a harem and an isekai mixed together. It sounds pretty darn standard, but again, I am trying not to be too fiercely negative towards these, so maybe there's something really great. The next one I thought sounded kind of interesting. I had not heard of it before. It's known as Call of the Night. It's a romance shonen supernatural vampire anime. Racked by insomnia and wanderlust, Ko Yamori is driven onto the moonlit streets every night in an aimless search for something he can't seem to name. His nightly ritual is marked by purposeless introspection until he meets Nazuna, who might just be a vampire. Ko's new companion could offer him dark gifts and a vampire's immortality, but there are conditions that must be met before Ko can sink his teeth into vampirism, and he'll have to discover just how far he's willing to go to satisfy his desires before he can heed the call of the night. I've actually become somewhat more attuned to vampire animes lately. I don't know exactly what it is, but they've been putting out some kind of decent ones lately that are at least interesting for the first parts of the season, so I do want to check this one out. This one comes out July 8th, 2022. Oh my god, alright, so we're on to the animes with the super long titles. Vermeil in Gold, a magician pushes through the magical world with the strongest disaster. Yeah, good luck searching that on your little TV remote if you're watching the apps. It's an ecchi fantasy school and shonen. It comes out July 5th, 22nd. It says, meet Alto, a hapless student of Royal Ortigia Magic Academy, whose academic performance leaves much to be desired. Okay, so we got another failure student. Rather than take a more sensible approach to salvaging his grades in time for graduation, Alto decides to summon a bit of otherworldly assistance. Only after does he learn he's been bound, the legendary she-devil Vermeil, into services as his family's familiar. But while Vermeil is a powerful ally sure to turn his grades around, her magic can only be replenished with a kiss. And that makes everything go to hell with Alto's jealous childhood friend, Lilia. Yay, love triangle, ichis. It reminds me of this one anime, I can't remember the name of it, but they had this really awkward one where you had to, the main character got his power from the milk of the ladies, if you know what I'm saying. This one's a little bit more tame with the kiss, but I don't know. I guess we'll see what that's all about. That could be kind of funny. I don't know. I'm not going to knock on that too hard right off the bat. My Stepmom's Daughter is My Ex, airing on July 6th, and it is a comedy and romance. High school. Is there any better place to start fresh after a horrible middle school relationship? Nope. Not unless your ex ends up at the same school as you and is now your step-sibling. What? What was supposed to be a sanctuary of peace where I could avoid ever seeing her again has become a living nightmare. Everywhere I look, I see her. In my house, in my school, in my class. There's no escape. She even claims that she's the older sibling. Like hell she is, but I won't lose to her. After all, I'm the older brother in this new family situation. That's right, we're a family now. No matter how much we may have thought we loved each other before, we saw one another's true colors and realized we weren't meant for each other. That's why even though we may keep up a buddy-buddy sibling act for the sake of our parents, things will never go back to the way it used to be. I feel kind of dirty just reading that, so I'm not going to say any more, but you all are welcome to your own thoughts. When will Ayumu make his move? A comedy romance school shonen slice of life anime comes out on July 8th, 2022. When Ayumu Tanaka falls in love with the only other member of the school's shogi chess club, Yureei Yatome, he vows to confess his love for her as soon as he can beat her in a match, but this proves difficult. Urushi is nevertheless thrown off by Ayumu's aggressive style as the two begin a cat and mouse game in both shogi and in life in this heart-tickling romantic comedy. I'm not against that one, but the picture looks a little awkward considering that girl looks pretty darn small. So again, we're gonna leave this as it is because I don't know exactly how I feel about that one. But if you guys like slice of lives, I don't know, it might be pretty good. Slice of lives are pretty hit or miss for me. Black Summoner, an action fantasy coming out on July 9th, 2022. Waking up in a strange new place with no memory of his past, Kelvin learns that he's bartered away those very memories in exchange for powerful new abilities during his recent transmigration. What kind of name is Kelvin in an anime? That's weird. That's a temperature measurement, but whatever. Heading out into a whole new world as a summoner with his first follower being the very goddess who brought him over. Kelvin begins his new life as an adventurer, and it isn't long before he discovers his hidden disposition as a battle junkie. From the black knights of the ancient castle of evil spirits to the demon within the hidden cave of the sage, he revels in the fight against one formidable foe after another. Join this OP adventurer in an exhilarating and epic saga as he and his allies carve their way into the annals of history. Honestly, I'm not normally into those kind of animes, but that might be fun just on the sheer action part of it itself. It sounds like it's a pretty raucous warpath that they're going on, so that's probably something I will check out just to see what it's like, but it could also very well be pretty flat. Isekai Yakkyoku, a anime coming out on July 10th. So a lot of these are actually really, really early in the month, so we're getting this done right on time. A young pharmacologist and researcher in Japan died from overworking and was reincarnated in a medieval parallel Europe. That's a weird jump there. I guess they always got to think of something original for these. Original. He was reincarnated as a 10-year-old apprentice to a famous royal court pharmacist, had obtained an inhuman skills of ability to see through disease, material creation, and material destruction. In a society which dubious medical practices are rampant, price gouging through the monopoly of the Pharmacist Guild, and good medicine aren't available to commoners. He was recognized by the emperor at that time and opened a pharmacy at the corner of the town. He will wipe out the fraud that has swept the world and deliver to the commoners a truly effective medicine that was developed using present-day pharmacology. Thus, the boy pharmacist will cheat by using his previous knowledge to create innovative medicines while helping the people of the parallel world. Story about living his new life to the fullest at this time. So this one's kind of interesting because I feel like we had something that was really, really similar to this with that isekai that came out a while ago. It wasn't too long ago, where he opened like a store up in his isekai world, but I don't know. A lot of these are not really known for heavy amounts of originality. The next anime on our list is called Engage Kiss, which comes out on July 3rd. Looks like it was made by Aniplex, and it looks like they have a cross conjunction with a mobile app. I couldn't really find much else on the anime though, so I'm not really sure. It says it's a comedy, romance, and supernatural. From what I've been finding, a lot of these like app/anime adventures have been kind of corny, and they're just really trying to push people into a gacha app. But Sometimes I'm wrong, sometimes they are pretty decent, so this could be something to look out for. Uncle from Another World, a comedy fantasy anime coming out on July 6th. This one looks like it has some kind of interesting old school aesthetic art. So it says autumn 2017, hit by a truck when he was 17 years old, Takafumi's uncle suddenly awakens from a coma that lasted 17 years. Damn, that's a long one. When Takafumi visits him in the hospital, he sees his uncle muttering nonsense, declaring that he has returned from another world named Gran Bahamal. Clearly his uncle has lost his marbles. Takafumi is lost for words, but his uncle proves his claim of being in another dimension by using some magic. Deciding to use his uncle's powers to earn a living, and with no other relatives to call upon, Takafumi takes him in and they begin to share an apartment together. While living with his uncle, Takafumi learns of his fantastical adventures and his boundless love of Sega video games. Oh, that's a branding choice. But at times, his uncle's lonely and cruel experiences fill Takafumi with both joy and sadness. Two men of different generations work hard to be video content creators in this new and exciting otherworldly comedy set in a corner of an apartment complex. Yay. No, this one actually sounds kind of interesting. I would like to check this out. It sounds really quirky. It looks like we're getting July 6th on this one, so that's pretty soon too. I'd be interested in seeing it. Might be one of the ones where the animation off-puts me a little bit, but we'll see what I think. Alright, so it looks like Shadow House is getting a season 2, which premieres on July 9th. I've never actually seen season 1 of this, but I just read a synopsis online. It's actually sounded kind of interesting. It's about this guy that's in this house, and I guess everyone's waited on by these dolls that take over things. And, I guess throughout time, they find out that there's kind of mysteries going on in this mansion that they kind of explore. So it's a slice of life and a supernatural anime. Might be kind of good. I'm going to try to go back and try to find Shadow's House season 1. The Maid I hired recently is Mysterious, a comedy shonen slice of life. And this one just says it comes out in July 22nd. I guess we don't have a specific date on that yet. Sometimes when I cover these things, they don't actually end up going live, so we'll just see how this one works out. There's something really strange about the maid I just hired. No normal person could be so beautiful or cook such amazingly delicious food or know exactly what I want before I even ask. She must be using magic, right? A spell is the only thing that can explain why my chest feels so tight whenever I look at her. I swear I'm gonna get to the bottom of what makes this maid so mysterious? I mean, that didn't really say anything. I don't really know anything to think about this, honestly. All they did was say that the title of it is The Maid I Hired Recently is Mysterious, and the synopsis is I hired a maid, she's mysterious. So I guess if you guys like maids and you like mystery and you like mysterious maids, this one's probably right up there for you. I'm not sure how I feel about it, but we'll see when it gets there. Oh, this next one has a very special name. Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer. I don't know what a biscuit hammer is. Maybe that's an actual thing. I don't know. Action, fantasy, sci-fi, and supernatural. Everything about college student Amamiya is average. Grades, looks, and his blasé look on life. So what happens when he awakens one day to a talking lizard who informs him that there is a gigantic hammer in outer space poised to spill the earth into pieces and requests his allegiance in the fight against the forces of evil? I guess this is an anime about doing LSD. Unfortunately for Yuhi, a little bit of coercion in the form of a superpowered princess prevents him from returning to his mediocre life as usual. In the adventure of his lifetime, Yuhi will join forces with the unpredictable princess and seek out a motley crew of companions to fight back against an evil mage and his horrifying, powerful homunculus before the biscuit hammer destroys the planet. Jesus, that's a whole lot. That's a whole lot to unpack. Honestly, I probably might check out the first episode of that one. It sounds like it could be crazy enough to be good, or maybe it's just as terrible as it seems like it would be. So, as y'all know, or you can probably tell from this video, I don't know the Japanese language extremely well, nor do I know how to say a bunch of stuff. So, I'm gonna skip the first part of this one. I think it's Utawarerumono, Mask of Truth, If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. So this one is an action drama in fantasy, and they say that the note is that it begins with the first 2 episodes back to back, which is always kind of nice when they do that. I mean, I don't know why they don't do a long episode, but I guess they want that 28 episode count. This one comes out July 3rd, 2022. Yamato descends into chaos following the death of Emperor, the General of the Right. As a fugitive accused of poisoning Empress Anju in a battle with his pursuers, he uses the full power of Akuruku, fusing his body and soul with the world itself. Before he says goodbye, he entrusts Anju and Nakone's future to his friend Haku. Taking up Oshitoru's mask and identity, Haku abandons his old life. He tells everyone except Nakone, who knows the truth, that he is Oshitoru. They escape to Enakamu, where Anju begins to recover and she rises up to reclaim her rightful place as Empress. But Raikou, one of the 8 pillar generals, attempts to take advantage of the chaos and put a false empress on the throne. Yamato's armies soon march for Inakamu to kill the true empress. A war is about to begin that will engulf all of Yamato, the last chapter in the long name series. All the mysteries are about to be revealed. So I have not seen this one before. It makes it sound like this is kind of a long running series. Is this something that I should be checking out? It sounds kind of political and like war based. So that's a thing, I guess. Let me know. RWBY, Ice Queendom, or RWBY, depending on how you want to say it, is an action anime, and it doesn't look like there's a date on this one yet. I personally have not liked any RWBY stuff that I've seen before. I haven't liked any of the video games, and I know that that is shockingly blasphemous, as many people absolutely love it. The synopsis here says, in the world of Remnant, a place where science and fairy tales coexist, human civilization is plagued by deadly monsters known as the Grimm. For a time, victory by the Grimm seemed all but certain, if not for the heroism of those sworn to protect humanity, huntsmen and huntresses. These warriors are trained and assembled into teams at school like Beacon Academy, where Ruby meets Weiss and Blake, forming Team Ruby along with Ruby's sister Yan. While Team Ruby studies to become the greatest huntress the world of Remnant has ever known, they are faced with a horrifying threat. Next up, we got Season 2 of Orient. This was one that I actually really wanted to watch, and I ended up not seeing it, so I guess I gotta go back and check that out since we're getting a second season for it. It's an action-adventure, fantasy, historical, samurai shonen, and it looks like it's coming out July 12th. The ferocious battle of Waji Islands begins now. With the appearance of the all-powerful Kishin, the land of Hinomoto is now dominated by Oni instead of humans. Musashi and Kanamaki Kojiro set out from their hometowns swearing the form of the strongest Bushi band of all time, and after encountering Hattori Sugumi on their trip, the 3 of them found the Kanamaki Bushi. After obtaining the only weapons that can slay Oni, they have taken the first big step towards their dream. In Harima, Musashi's group will encounter the massive band and their leader. They have gathered to slay the giant Kinshin and threatens to consume the Awaji Island. Joining them are Takeda and Takeda, along with several Bushi the same age as Musashi. There's also the slightly sheltered Shy Princess. As different agendas swirl and interact, Musashi and his friends join the Kinshin hunt. Yamada no Orochi is an unstoppable demon god that has never been scratched before, and so the fiercest battle of all begins. That could be kind of interesting. Orochis are kind of cool. If you guys have seen me play Shin Megami Tensei at all, that's definitely a demon that we've seen plenty of. The Yakuza's Guide to Babysitting, a comedy and slice of life. I like how they take the criminal underworld and put them into slice of life lately. There's been some really good ones that have come out. This one comes out July 7th, 2022. Kirishima is the right-hand man of the Sakuragi crime family. For him, the job is a perfect excuse to let his violent instincts run wild, earning him the nickname the Demon of Sakuragi. It seems like nothing will stand in the way of his vicious nature. But then one day he receives an assignment like never before from the boss, babysitting his daughter. This is the heartwarming, or is it blood-curdling, story of a little girl and her Yakuza caretaker. I actually want to check this one out. This one sounds like it'd be pretty interesting. I would love to check that out, actually. If that's something that you're also interested in, let me know. Dropkick on My Devil X, a comedy supernatural, and this is actually season 3 of Dropkick on My Devil. So I've never seen Dropkick on My Devil before. From the synopsis I read, this actually sounds kind of almost like a Dragon Maid with a twist to it. So apparently the main character summons a demon. The demon is unable to return to their world, so they both try to kill the main character and also spend wholesome slice of lifetime with them. I don't know. It actually sounds kind of interesting. These shows can be kind of funny, and so I might actually check this one out on July 6th. LYCORIS Recall. This one is an original, and it looks like it's coming out July 2nd. So this one's super soon. The Reco is a cafe with traditional Japanese twists located in downtown Tokyo. But the delicious coffee and sugary sweets are not the only orders this cafe takes. From delivering packages short distances to pickups and drop-offs on the lonely streets at night, to zombies and giant monster extermination. That's a heck of a mix. Whatever your problem, we're here to help. We will solve any kind of trouble you may have. Waiting for you are the ever-smiling poster girl and the cool, serious newcomer, a petite girl who never wants to work, and a young woman approaching 30 who wants to get married. And the manager's a nice guy who's obsessed with Japan. Whatever your order is, leave it up to us. So that's kind of interesting. They don't have any tags on that one. I'm not sure exactly what kind of anime it is, but it looks kind of interesting. The artwork that they have shown for it looks outstanding, so I'm probably going to check this one out for sure. FUUTO P, a action drama mystery police supernatural. This one comes out on August 1st, so this is actually our latest dropping one for the summer season. FUUTO is under the protection of Shitaru and Philip, okay. But bizarre incidents continue to occur frequently on the side of the city. Tokame, a mysterious beauty, appears and a new evil casts its shadow over the windy city. It's the beginning of a new battle for Kamen Rider. Oh, it's a Kamen Rider. Okay. So I'm actually pitifully under-knowledged as far as Kamen Rider goes, but I actually didn't know Kamen Rider had animes either. Let me know what you guys think about this one. I know there's a couple people that are really into Kamen Rider stuff, so let me know what you think about this one. This could be super right up your alley. Luminous Witches. Ooh, this is a Shaft one. This comes out July 3rd, so this is also pretty soon too. And we have a little short synopsis here. Magic military sci-fi anime. The story centers on a unique squadron of witches who don't fight. Instead, the squadron sings and performs music to protect the smiles of those who have been driven out of their hometowns by the RWBY. Yeah, I have no interest in that. I have zero interest in that. But if that sounds like it's something interesting, then you guys should check that out. Shine On! Bakumatsu Bad Boys, a historical samurai anime coming out on July 8th. In the era when samurai controlled Japan, the masked demons annihilated all but one member of the Shinsengumi, who had worked to maintain the peace and public order in Kyoto. 7 criminals are chosen as substitutes for the deceased Shinsengumi members, and they are led by Ichiban Boshi, whose parents were also killed by the masked demons. He becomes a substitute for Commander Isami Kondo and goes after the masked demons with the other substitutes to avenge his parents' death. Former criminals rise up to restore peace and order as their crazy story begins. Now is the time to shine the brightest. I'm actually thinking of a specific person who says shine on all the time. So if you're watching, let me know what you think about that one. That one actually sounds right up the alley there. I don't know, it could be interesting. So far I'm not really super hype about anything that I'm seeing this season coming out, but some of this stuff looks pretty decent, including this one. Yes, Tokyo Mew Mew New, a fantasy magic shoujo, coming out on July 6th. The scientists of the Mew project use DNA of endangered species to create a team of heroines imbued with amazing superhuman abilities. One of them, Ichigo, awakens to discover she is armed with all the skills of a Iromote cat. I'm not sure what kind of cat that is. Ichigo must band together with the other Mew Mew girls to repel an alien incursion, all the while hiding their thrilling double lives from friends and family. I could see Bree really liking this. Anyone who loves cat stuff might be like super down with this one. We have more Love Live, Superstars Season 2. I'm not really going to cover that because we've talked about the Love Live stuff a lot. Prima Doll, a sci-fi slice of life mixed media project coming out on July 3rd. Cafe Kuronakote boasts an unusual roster of employees. I totally slaughtered that word. A group of automata, or autonomous mechanical dolls, serve their patrons with a smile, but they weren't always so suited to domestic life. Just a few years prior, automata served as weapons in the Great War, filling the bloody purpose for which they were created. Now that the war has ended, these machines with human hearts search for their place in an unfamiliar, peaceful world, and their search begins at the Kuranakotai Cafe. What is that, like a near, like, fan fiction? That's what I'm kind of feeling like. What happens to the cast of Nier after? No. Anyway, that one's coming out on July 3rd. That'll be kind of interesting to see. All right, so the next one up is Musashino, and it's a slice of life that comes out on July 2nd. There's obviously no synopsis here, but we're going to jump over to the Wikipedia, and I'm going to read the synopsis there, because it did sound kind of interesting, and I think that it's at least worth reading a synopsis on this one. Two beautiful sisters, Ranko and Hikaru, live in a high-end apartment in Tokyo, and both love Lolita fashion, which Bree also does as well. They live carefree and worry-free lives as they are neat, and if you don't know that, they are like, they're not working or trying to work or anything like that. Often the sisters will go to Akihabara and Shibuya shopping districts to shop for various garments and converse with people. The sisters are unemployed because Ranko made a fortune off the financial market and they no longer need jobs. Okay, so I mean, that's a little bit different than a lot of needs. Most of them are just supported by their parents. Hikaru takes care of household duties whilst Ranko surfs the internet and plays games, which is also very neat-like. One day, Hikaru decides that she and Ranko should no longer be living this kind of lifestyle and applies herself for a job, a waitress in a maid cafe. Naturally, Ranko is worried about Hikaru and joins her at the maid cafe at a daily basis. I actually kind of like the idea behind that one. That could be a pretty good slice of life. I know for a fact that Bree's going to be interested in it just because of the Lolita fashion stuff. But it also just sounds kind of like an overall pretty cute anime. Shoot, Goal to the Future. We got our first sports anime listed here. It is, looks like maybe soccer. July 2nd is when this one premieres. Atsushi Kamiya, a former captain at Kawagawa High School and around the world renowned courageous captain for a famous Italian soccer team. And Hideto, a student at Kakagawa High School who seems uninterested in the now weakened soccer team. Their meeting is the start of a new legend. So I don't really watch sports animes, but they kind of all follow the same path that generally has like a junky team that needs some help. Some characters come in, they help them out, and they have all this glorious teamwork. I know a lot of people are really, really interested in it. I know there was a biking one that you guys were telling me to watch like forever. I still never really checked that out, but I know they're popular, so there's someone out there for that one. And also, speaking of sports, we have the Prince of Tennis 2 U17 World Cup, an action comedy school shonen sports, coming out on July 7th, 2022. And this one is definitely a tennis anime. And honestly, I'm not even going to read the synopsis for this because, like I said, none of them really do anything too wildly interesting. But if tennis is your sport, there's an anime for you coming out on July 7th. Teppen, with a bunch of exclamation marks, a comedy school slice of light. July 2nd. Yaoi, I don't know how to pronounce that. We'll just say Sakamoto, a diehard fan of comedians and comedy acts, enrolls in the private Kazuki High School in Nanba, Osaka's entertainment district, famous as the starting point for many comedians. Comedian anime. That's kind of cool. She reunites with Yomogi, a childhood friend who once formed the comedy duo Kanamanzu with her when they were little. Before long, they find themselves putting together a routine at a park, like they did before, in order to enter a local shopping area's contest. At that moment, a mysterious girl calls out to them. That one's could be kind of cool. The animation looks kind of cute too. I'm not sure if I really like it from just this picture, but I mean, a picture is just a picture. But yeah, if you guys like comedy and stuff about comedians, that could be a good one. Next up, we have Smile of the Arsnotoria, the animation, a fantasy and slice of life that comes out on July 6th. I couldn't find a lot of expanded information about this, but it is a magic school anime. So if you guys are interested in magic school animes, this one might be up your alley. Phantom of the Idol, comedy, music, supernatural anime, premiering on July 2nd. Yuya, one half of the boy pop duo Zings, may be the laziest performer in the Japanese music industry. Oh no. His partner is out there giving 110% every night, and thankfully he's quite popular, but Yuya's half-assed, sloppy dancing and his frankly hostile attitude towards the audience has the fans hating him and his agent looking for any excuse to cut him loose. The career of a pop idol just isn't the path of easy leisure and adulation Yuya expected. After a particularly lifeless concert appearance, Yuya meets a girl backstage. She's dressed to the nines in a colorful outfit. She's full of vim and vigor, and all she wants from life is to perform. There's just one problem. She's been dead for a year. That was a twist. This is the ghost of Asahi Mogami, the beloved singer whose time on the stage was tragically cut short, unless, if ghosts are real, is spirit possession really that much of a stretch? That actually sounds kind of interesting. They lost me on the first half, they picked me up on the back. SHINEPOST, music anime, which I've never liked a music anime, but we'll see. July 13th, the idol unit Tings. So before we had Zings, now we have Tings. The idol unit Tings has big dreams, but only small achievements, and is not very popular. The best manager in the world was supposed to be their savior, but I'm not interested in being your manager. The man who shows up is Naosei Hinaki, a man with no motivation. However, he has a special power. This is the story of you and the girls shining brightly to become absolute idols. The best idol entertainment begins here. This one I'm definitely not interested in. This one had me lost in the back half and lost in the front half too. But if you guys like singing and idol kind of animes, this one would definitely be right up your alley. Extreme Hearts, a music and sports anime by 7 Arcs, premieres on July 10th. The story is set in the future, not long after the present day. Hypersports, which use extreme gear as support items, have become popular hobby competitions amongst both children and adults. Hiyori Hayama is a high school singer who has nothing to do with hypersports, but a certain incident sets the story in motion. This is the story about how we met our greatest friends. Okay, so this looks like a group of females playing a sport, but it sounds like there's kind of an extreme like mix with it. They were very vague about it, so I'm actually they have me interested. Actually, I'm curious as to like what that could be that would like set it to be like different than just like regular sports, but I guess that'll just have to be seen. I might have to watch the first episode. YUREI DECO, a sci-fi anime. This looks insane. July 3rd, 2022 is when this one premieres. And let's read this crazy synopsis from this really wild looking picture here. Tom Sawyer Island is a city with strictly controlled information. The residents of this island use a visual information device called DECO, or a decoration customizer, to go back and forth between the super reproduction space and virtual space. There is a numerical social credit system amongst the residents measured in units called love. The amount of love one gets determines a resident's social standing, and this system is the reason for their peaceful society. Collecting a lot of love allows residents to expand their deco capabilities, so residents scramble daily to collect as much as they can. On Tom Sawyer Island, rumors spread of a phantom zero, rumored to be causing a zero phenomenon in which love is lost. One day, a girl named Barry gets caught up in investing the mysterious zero phenomena of lost love and ends up becoming an invisible being called a Yuri. Barry then meets another Yuri and a genius hacker named Hack, the original name, and joins the Ghost Detective Club as Barry. That's what the heck? As Barry works to solve cases as the Ghost Detective Club, she becomes closer to uncovering the truths hidden on Tom Sawyer Island. They have me intrigued. And that artwork looks absolutely wildly insane. Let me try to see if I can get a big blow up of that one. All right, so here is the big piece of art here, and actually from some of the stuff that I'm seeing, it looks like this one's pretty heavy into the CG. Though with this wild future kind of like sci-fi setting, that could fit pretty well. This cat character also has got me pretty interested. It looks like they have quite a mix of the zany, the plain, and the very strict here, like this tall lady. Next up is KJ File. It is going to come out on July 11th. I don't have a whole lot of info on this one. It looks like it is a monster hunting anime, so this could be kind of cool. Sounds like there's some organizations dedicated to finding monsters and hunting them down, and that's what this anime is going to be about. Honestly, it's probably rating pretty high, even though I have very little information on this, just based off of everything else that we've seen coming out in this season. So I'll be checking this one out. And a lot of these that I check out, I probably might be making like little smaller videos for them as well, once I get a first impressions. So we're going to skip the D4 DJ double mix, because that kind of just looks like a bunch of hokey. But moving on to Bang Dream, More Phonication. This is a music anime, and it's a mixed media project that comes out on July 28th. I'm going to jump over to the Wikipedia for it here. And it says it's an upcoming 2-episode anime featuring the 5-member violin rock band Morphonica. It will be broadcast on July 28th and 29th. The episodes will also be streamed at the official YouTube channel at 2300 JST. It actually sounds pretty cool. I'm not really too familiar with that band, and obviously for copyright reasons I can't pull them up and check it out, but just this picture alone looks pretty awesome. And they got a bunch of these little characters here that look like they're from a mobile game, honestly. But it does look kind of cool, and if the music's good, that could be pretty neat. 2 episodes is pretty easy to dedicate to yourself to. Nearing the end of our list, we have another extremely long title, Uda no Prince Sama Maji Love Starish Tours Tabi no Hajimari, a comedy, harem, music, romance, school, soju anime, and it looks like this one's going to be a new 1-hour TV anime special that commemorates the series' 10th anniversary, and a new movie that releases in 2022. This one comes out on July 31st, and I guess if you guys are familiar or fans of that series, this one could be pretty big to you. I don't know anything about it at all. Nights with a Cat. This one absolutely sounds like something Bree would be into. It is a comedy slice of life. Comes out on August 4th, 2022. When Fuda comes home tired at night, all he wants to do is spend time with his new cat. All the mysterious habits and mannerisms of house cats are carefully reproduced in this relaxed and cute comedy about living with an adorable furball. Next up, we have CARDFIGHT VANGUARD Will Plus Dress, a comedy and game anime that comes out on July 5th, and it looks like it's the sequel to CARDFIGHT Vanguard. It looks very Yu-Gi-Oh to me. This is not a series that I've seen, and I don't really have a ton of information on it. However, if this is something that I should be checking out, once again, I know I'm being repetitive here, but let me know. Let me know. I give almost anything a chance. I don't like everything, but I'll give almost everything a chance. Hanabi-chan wa Okoregashi, comedy fantasy slice of life, comes out on July 10th, and this one looks like kind of a little cutesy, maybe a smaller sized show. Yep, it says it's a short form. Story reimagining Universal Entertainment's Hanabi versus and Thunder B Paichi's slow machines as girls working in a pachinko hall. I don't know if there's a whole lot to be said about short form animes. I mean, some of them are kind of fun. I don't know how many people here really watch the short form ones, but some of them are kind of cute. Like me and Bree really liked Banyanyan and stuff like that. So if this is something that you're familiar with and you want to know more about, let me know, or maybe you have some information for me. All right, so the next one's called Deathmatch Real ni Koi Shiteru, and it says it's coming out on June 11th, although everything that I found online is just like, there's no synopsises for this one. I have no idea what this is about. One thing that I will say from what I did just see a little bit of is the animation looks like it is very, very old school. Like I'm talking like early 90s kind of look to it. So that in itself could probably turn a lot of people off. And it also looks like it's just a TV special. So I don't know. You guys have information on that? Let me know. Next up, we have Chimimo, a comedy and demons, comes out on July 8th. The heartwarming comedy centers on Chimimo, a messenger of hell and a shape-shifting evil demon. Chimino is one of the 12 evil demons whose mission is to turn the human world into hell. Beautiful. The 12 demons, along with Hellsan, go to the human world, but Hellsan and Chimimo become freeloaders to a family of 3 sisters named Mitsumi, Hazuki, and Mei, and I really want to see this. It looks horrifically cute, like just absurdly cute, and yeah, that synopsis sounds hilarious. That could be a lot of fun. I really do think that could be a lot of fun. 5 Okunen Button, Soda Sugahara no Short. I don't know if that means it's a short series or what, but July 15th is when this one comes out. The story centers on a button that grants 1,000,000 yen to whomever pushes it, with the condition that they must spend 500 million years alone in an empty space. Dear God. However, at the end of the 500 million years, the person loses that memory and returns to the point in time when they push the button. A person with this button appears in front of a 5-year-old Tonio, 14-year-old Jaibi, and 17-year-old Tsuneko, 3 siblings who need money to pay for their father's hospital treatment. That's wild. That is wild. I would love to see that. I don't know what kind of tag that would be, but that actually sounds like something I'd really, really be interested in. That's a weird concept, having to live 500 million years in a space, and then, but they said, like, you know, when you come back, it's like your memory's gone, so you don't remember what you did during that 500 million years. I guess you'd have to hope that they didn't do anything too exciting. But over 500 million years, something's got to happen. Unless you're just in a white room, then I guess you'd go crazy. So the last on the list, I'm not actually going to read. They all look like they're kind of short forms or TV specials, and I think they're more like kids animes more than anything, just for Japan. But just for the sake of brevity, they're called Usagi, Over the Rainbow, and 3 or I Ice Cream 2, and all of them look pretty silly and childlike. Anyway, that is what we have, at least what's listed on livechart.me of the 2022 anime season. Was there anything that you are incredibly excited about? Was there something that I missed that maybe you think that I should cover? Or was there something that you definitely want to see me cover more of? I'd love to know. Please let me know in the comments below. Or, you know, just rip on me for my crazy anime tastes and the things that I say about the shows that you love. I'm Trey with Yakuza Otaku. If you like the content, hit the thumbs up. If you want to see more anime news reviews and gaming, hit subscribe. I'll catch you on the next one.